가끔 옛날 생각을 해. 내가 어쩌다가 흑수가 되겠다고 생각했던가. 그 중에서는 왜 요한을 골랐던가. 그런 거 분명 출세하고 싶었던 것 같은데. 뭐 닭대가리들 위해 섰으니 출세라면 출세인가.
If you say so, Heathcliff. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Mechamac. This is Limbus Company. We have new things. I've actually been saving on this so I can tackle both Uptie stories at the same time. Drifting Blade of Hongwan.
지켜야 할 사람을 지키지 못한 나는 무얼든지 좋지. 내 놈은 알고 있나. 그래. 그리 기대하지 않았다.
And then we have the Christmas Rodion over here.
잠깐만 기다려봐. 이것만 마저 달면 되니까. 됐다. 봐봐, 이쁘지? 어? 지금 출동하라고?
Alright, I probably should have looked at the numbers before I started it, huh? Okay, so she rolls 3 plus 4 for her skill 1, that's an 11. Deal extra damage for every charge on self. At 2 plus charge, coin power plus 1. At 5 plus charge count, coin power plus 1. 15, huh? Clash lose, gain sinking, and 4 charge count. On hit inflict sinking and charge count, on hit inflict sinking and charge count. Concentration burst and pop with Christmas colors. 15% damage for every charge on self. Coin power for every charge count. So it rolls 10, 16 by default. That's a 20, huh? That's actually pretty impressive. On Clash lose, gain charge count and gain sinking. On hit, inflict sinking and sinking count. Gain charge count. Less than 8 charge count, gain sinking and charge count. But once per turn, so she doesn't do very well with extra skill slots, it seems. At 8 plus charge count, consume charge count and inflict blunt fragility. Once per turn. So wait, if she's at exactly 4 charge count, she'd have to lose the first coin for that to happen, but if she were at exactly 4 charge count at this point... No, actually, she just has to be between 4 and 8. Because she'll gain it, go up, and then inflict blunt fragility and go back down again. Huh, that's actually a kind of interesting skill too. And skill 3. Mind Whip. Look everyone, we're the fireworks this Christmas. Deal 10% damage for every charge. At a certain charge count, gain charge count. But also gain indiscriminate and unfocused volley. If she has 3 charge, then it does not gain indiscriminate, so it's just going to hit multiple enemies. That's not really how Mind Whip worked in Library of Verona. At 10 plus charge count, consume all charge count to gain the following effects. 2 extra coin power, so if it gains indiscriminate then it's also gaining coin power. I don't like all this elf sinking she throws on herself. There are certain ego gifts and fights that stick sinking count on you because they don't expect you to maintain it. Raise stagger threshold by 10% of damage dealt. $16. Gain 2 coin power on that. And that's 24. Raise attack threshold by 20%. At 3+ charge, raise by 20% instead. 10%, 10%, 5%. Blunt resistant, pierce fatal. But since she's mono blunt, it doesn't make her resistant to the current blunt excavation. Defense. It's a friggin' guard skill. Everybody's sparkling and glittering. At 5 charge count, gain base power. Gain 3 charge count twice per turn. Gloom Envy. Gain charge every time this unit consumes 10 cumulative charge count. When using a base attack skill that inflicts sinking potency, if the main target does not have sinking, this unit gains... When using a base attack that inflicts sinking, if the target doesn't have sinking, gain sinking and in double the amount of sinking potency inflicted. She is not exactly a sinking ID because she's negative in everything. They at least give her gloom and envy so she can fuel Rhyme Shank, but I don't think it's that effective. At less than 35% HP, base attacks gain final power. Jolly Antlers. And it's a 1 per turn thing for gaining sinking. She can absolutely tank her own SP if she takes too many side hits or counters. Or unbreakable coins. I don't like the idea. I don't like thinking about what she'd be like if you took her into the Queen of Hatred event battle. 1 ally with lowest SP skills that consume charge, or unique charge and have effects that inflict sinking. Deal 10% more damage except ego skills. There can't be that many characters that consume charge and inflict sinking. Jump over to the testing branch so I don't mess anything up. All sinking charge. No wait, hitting sinking charge means that we get sinking or charge. My bad. Anyway, let's check out what she's like to level up at least. So she rolls a 9 on her skill 1 and a 12 on her skill 2, and there's just one sinking count. She can gain charge despite not having anything to spend it on. That's kinda garbage. Okay, raise her speed range from 3 to 5 to 3 to 6. At charge count, gain coin power, gain sinking and charge count, gain charge count, gain charge count. It's a late night. Coin power for every charge count. Inflict 2 sinking into sinking count. Gain charge count. At less than 8 charge count, gain singing and charge count, but she still can't spend anything. She still can't spend it on anything. So she's going to self-sinking a lot, is what we're seeing here. Alright, third up tie. Speed goes from 3 to 6 to 3 to 7. Mind Whip unlocked. It rolls 3 plus 2. Oh, that sounds awful. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. Her skill 3 rolls a frickin' 11. At 10 charge count, gain 1 coin power. So at full power, it rolls a 15. This is not a good early game ID, is what we're saying. Inflict sinking count, raise damage threshold. Alright, raise the coin power on her skill 1. Raise the coin power on her skill 2, support passive.
그래, 메리 크리스마스. 이 은혜로운 밤에 나와서 일하고 있는 너희나 우리들에게 축복 같은 게 있기를.
That's what you get for giving us holiday shifts. The tree just needs this little star up here and there you go. Contracts have been pretty dry these last few days, last weeks actually, giving us very little to do in the meantime. The proxy war contract at H-Core ended up fizzling out, and even regular jobs have been drying up too. Client after client refusing to renew our contract, or so I'm told. As a result, the Reindeer Pack's been off the front lines for quite some time now. The pain brought on by our antlers, the throbbing migraines trailing behind brainwave manipulation, the endless neuroses that grip us without ever letting go. Every pain and agony that has been eating away at us was starting to lose its edge, like the dulling ache of wounds that would get covered by scabs and calluses as they heal. How's it going over there, Ishi? Is the fireplace coming along nicely? Haven't even gotten to working on that yet. Speaking of which, I thought this was supposed to be just a modest celebration. What are we doing with all this? Come on, it's Christmas! We've got a turkey roasting inside the T-Core acceleration oven. I made sure to light the place up with some Christmas candles too. It's the most special time of the year, where we all remember to sand down the edges in our words that usually prickle each other, and surround our hearts with some peace and gentleness, as unfamiliar as they were. I proposed a Christmas party, certain that no opportunity like this would ever come again should we miss it. And with the Pack Commander's authorization, we were able to Christmas up our living quarters. It is a rather modest celebration though, isn't it? Maybe for you, Honglu. Haven't you ever been to these Christmas parties before, Honglu? If you mean parties with a real sense of camaraderie like this one, then no. Seriously? What about you, Ishi? Christmas isn't really my thing. I've seen quite a few people who do like to make a big deal out of it. Oh, really? What the hell was that? What are you laughing about? Just how was it with you, Rodion? Ah, sorry. I used to be kind of like you in that regard, Ishi. Christmas, Gristlemas, big deal I thought. Really? You? Didn't care for it. There wasn't much in my old backstreets to make it a heartwarming occasion, you know? Christmas time, the spent stench of cheap liquor permeated those alleyways instead of the sweet bouquet of top-shelf wine. And of course there wasn't so much as a typical Christmas tree to be found anywhere there. Although there might have been one, but I wouldn't know. Maybe the biting wind and the hunger boring a hole in my belly swiped away even the bright colours of the tree from my eyes. Maybe the backstreets folk, broken desperate as always, stole and exchanged it for a handful of cash. Huh? Then why are you so gung-ho about preparing for this Christmas party? I mean, from what you just said, you don't seem to have a very pleasant memory of it. I don't know, cause it's a nice day. Despite everything, I still remember Christmas as a day meant for happiness, and that's because of that warmth I once felt, even from the wrong side of a window. I saw a twinkling star atop a tree, and on the dining table, a hearty roast turkey still steaming from the oven's heat. There was a little kid too, bouncing with excitement and beaming an unwrapped Christmas gift in his hands while his family looked on with proud smiles. Gotta admit, I was jealous. Made me want to spoil their happy little moment if I could, but more than anything, I wanted to be a part of that picture and spend the winter in that pocket of warmth amid the blistering cold. That desire overwhelmed any sense of jealousy that might have been there. That's some pretty half-assed reasoning. Hey, that's the holidays for you. Pick an ordinary day that would end like any other, give it a name, and call it special, right? So yeah, that's why. If work picks up again, he's back to bouts of neuroses and insomnia. When else are we going to get a chance to feel something like this? Huh? We've gone above and beyond with the gussing up of this place. Oh, Commander, what are you doing here? I thought you were busy. Wait, I know. Did you want to celebrate Christmas with us? Sorry to be the party killer, but we've got an urgent task on our hands. What? But you said we could take it easy for a while. That's what I thought when the contracts we had with the other wings expired. Anyhow, about the mission. Eliminate every garden researcher within a research facility in the back streets of El Corp and secure their internal files. The problem is that this task will soon be posted as an urban nightmare contract for the Fixer Associations. The payout's enormous. That's why it's been designated an urban nightmare. But the job should be easy enough for even a grade 5 Fixer office to handle. Easy and rewarding in the city? You sure this isn't bait, Commander? So when do we set out? Now. Now? 7 associations decided to put the intel up for sale in 14 minutes from now. It's a simple job with big money. We've got to beat the crowd. It's not far from here, but it wouldn't hurt to get a move on. Hang on, why's it got to be us? Aren't there plenty of other big talk packs you could rope into this? Call it a Christmas gift. What, so we're supposed to drop everything and head out on Christmas? You've got to be kidding me. Wait, you're serious, aren't you? What about the turkey? We can't just leave it in the oven. No. I was wondering where that carol was coming from. Turns out the brainwaves zapped the melody tape to life. Red lights, green lights. Not very Christmas. The silver lining, at least, was that the contract the commander landed was a piece of cake, considering the money in it. So easy that the hardest thing about the mission was the damn Christmas lights I never got to untangle from my antlers. I can't untangle these stupid lights. You look like a walking Christmas tree with your energy powering the lights. It's pretty nice, actually. When did you hang that thing on your staff? Hey, I've got the exact bell on my staff too. Guess you didn't get to untie that thing either, Ishi. The holiday plan's totally botched, and it really is a far cry, almost astronomically far even, from the nice and warm Christmas I had in mind. But I suppose it does have something festive about it. The battlefield this time around was an unusually chill one. Since the job was a cakewalk, there weren't any reindeer screaming their lungs out in pain as was often the case. And only the occasional dying cries of researchers could be heard every now and then between the sound of jolly carols and jingling bells. Well, it did end up being a special day, I suppose. Special, yeah, this Christmas celebration sure is one of a kind, huh? That was Ishmael before, sorry. Flashy decorations, check. Christmas tree, check. Bells and carols too, yep, carols, didn't leave out the carols. As to the presents, the commander did gift us this holiday gig. Yeah, sure, I suppose this still counts as a present. Yay, season's greetings and all. All that's missing is the star to top the tree. Oh, now that you mention it. Let's see, star, huh? Here, if I focus my brainwaves into my antlers like this. We have our star now! Careful, you might end up hurting someone. Huh? Did we let the excitement get the better of us and drop our guard? Or was the trap simply too intricate to notice? Whichever was the case, she was right. Nothing's ever easy and rewarding in the city. We should have known better. Wait, there are too many of them! The enemy forces were at least 10 times greater than what we were briefed prior to the mission. Not to mention how the entire lab was booby-trapped in the teeth with all kinds of security contraptions. It wasn't long before condensed whips of energy began to arc indiscriminately, wreaking havoc through their laboratory. What the hell is this? Aren't we allowed to be festive, to be happy, even for a day? It's Christmas. Just one day out of 365. The Christmas carol slowly begins to cacophonize with the blood-curdling screams. My vision fills with the wildly flashing lights, red and green all over. I don't hear the jingling bells around me anymore. All that remains are blinking lights and cascading waves of... Ugh. Get out of my way. Why won't these fucking decorations come off? My head hurts so much! Get off me! When I came to, what welcomed me was the sight of half-crazed Ishii with a wild look in her eyes. What happened to the others? Why are you asking me? What the hell? Do you think? Everyone's dead, the mission failed. We failed. Then the fixers who came in after us must have already gotten away with the internal files. The biting edge in our words had been sanded down by the holiday mood grows sharp again. Everywhere I look, my vision is consumed by the gory missing remains of slaughter that had taken place. I didn't even need to check the time to know that Christmas had officially ended. And then I hear it, the unmistakable sound of transmission static cutting between the carol. Commander? Finally, I've been trying to reach you. What became of the mission? Failed. We were totally outnumbered. There were too many of them, way more than what the briefing said. So you didn't get to unwrap the Christmas present. Ravens will be there soon. You're gonna have us culled just because of a single failure? Correct. The fourth reindeer pack in its current state is no longer deemed fit to serve. Our corps no longer has need of underperforming units. The order comes from the Supreme Commander. It's final and beyond appeal. Any last words? Yeah, more than I'll ever get out, unfortunately. A whole shitload of curses for starters. I mean, don't I have every right to be pissed about this? Why us of all people? It's not fair. If I could, I'd yell until my throat gave out. But then it hits me. Beneath all of it, there's just a single thing I actually want to say. Because keeping it in will hurt more than that's what's waiting for us. I swallowed whatever migraine meds I had on me. The same meds I've been saving so I could guzzle some goddamn wine down my throat tonight. Finally say the words I never got to say. Merry Christmas. Thank you for your service, Rodion. Merry Christmas. Yeah, you can never have nice things in the city. Alright, so it gives us an extra conditional for coin power. An extra charge count on skill 1. The skill 2 gains extra charge count on clash lose or extra charge count on hit, and gives that blunt fragility thing. So her charge potency can start going up nicer. Base and coin power boost for the mind whip. Boosts her coin power by 2 for having enough charge count. Adds the charge, stagger threshold raise, booster, etc. Raise the base power and add an affinity to her guard skill. And add the at low health gain final power to her basic passive. Alright. Man, that actually took most of the episode. So she rolls 5 plus 6 on her base skill. 3 plus 3 by 4, so that's 11 and 12. 2 poise count, gain poise equal to rupture on target, inflict rupture, and on crit inflict more rupture. First start, gain protector's stance. Gain poise potency and poise count. This unit's leftmost skill slot gains aggro. Huh. She's almost stable, but not really. Ah! Even at up tie 1, she gets her free hey back off an attack. Alright, 1 up tie gives us a coin power boost, but since we only have 1 coin, it might as well have been a base or a final power boost. Inflict 2 rupture. A coin power booster for this if there's enough poise and rupture. Gain 2 rupture, gain poise equal to rupture. If an ally is killed by an attack or left at less than 25% after an attack, use aiding strike as non-opposed attack this turn, but only once per encounter. Lord of Hongwan Honglu may activate once more past its usage limit. And she also deals bonus passage. She deals bonus damage on crit from her base passive that doesn't need any sin resources. Okay. And it heals SP. Huh. Okay, raise her speed range from 4 to 6 to 4 to 7. Aiding strike unlocked. Gain 2 protector's stance. 3+ types of negative effects, gain final power. Gain coin power, gain poise count, and gain poise. By separating the two, that does actually mean that she can gain 4 poise if this is her opening attack. On hit, inflict rupture count. Inflict rupture, 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 rupture. Coin start. Deal 2% damage for every poison, self, and rupture on target. So I guess that's the difference that they're doing now, is that coin start will determine things based on the current condition as opposed to starting the skill attack. Okay, raise the base power of her skill 1, raise the base power of her skill 2. Support passive. Ally with earliest deployment gains shield for every poise on self, which we already had.
섬길이 없이 정처 없는 걸음일 뿐인데 이다지도 막으려는 자가 많다. 아무래도 죽은 자가 내 창끝을 움직이고 있다는 걸 대관원에서도 아는 모양이지?
Start talking. Can't spill what you've covered. What do you expect? You take my mouth shut, how was I supposed to talk? Beats me. Here in Hongwan, you see it at least once every 3 or 4 days. Folk can make their voice heard without even using their mouths. That's because they've consumed boluses! You sheesh are a bunch of talk too much bastards. I'm begging you, spare me just this once. I'll do anything, please don't kill me. I've already been resuscitated twice through life insurance. The 3rd time might really melt my brain beyond the point of no return. One of the most eminent families of Hongwan, reduced to a pile of dogshit milksops. SYM unless asked. Huh? What? A peculiar way of speech. You're that Lin woman, aren't you? That tramp from some inconsequential family who carried up favor with Dong Yan a few years back, serving as bodyguard even though you're not from any of the 4 great houses. Kitschy. Even with a blade poised to slit your throat, still you run your tongue as though you've got a death wish. But your words ring true. Can't say you're a complete fool. You're not without aesthetic merit. Would be your ways to S-way and C. This way. I've heard that one. Something about snapping necks. Wait, does that mean you're sparing me? Ah! Your arms are flailing about. Disgusting. Now spill everything you know about the new family hierarchy. What? How would I know? She's not even from my family. But you do know. The Shi, Wang, Zhu, all of you joined hands and threw your weight behind that scum in the family hierarchy war. How did you? You're not the only one who sings like a canary when persuaded. We had no other choice. The Jia family would have seized the hierarchy seat had we sat on our hands. How could we possibly allow such a disgrace? Besides, we were victims too. True, we had a hand in her ascension. Yes, she did become the hierarch in the end, but the moment she claimed the seat, she ignored every request we made. It sounds like a bad ending to spring cultivation. I haven't heard any relation to Lord Honglu yet. We only supported her because she promised to defer the land dues on our Hongwan property. Yet as soon as the first restructuring day came, after she became hierarch, she simply wiped the place out down to the last stone. You people distrusted your own family and thought things would work out if you backed another. Serves you right. No, that's not it. I'm bound by the contract. Can't go into too much detail. But she was supposed to keep her word. Her to stab us behind our backs with such impunity. I'm sorry it's more than such a simple change of heart. This looks suspicious to me. Even that soft-hearted fool you were a bodyguard to, yeah, him. Even if he had become the family hierarch with his cloud-chasing daydream of a peaceful Hongwan, he wouldn't have been any different. Excessive pursuit of the kitsch becomes grotesque and repulsive. Since it's come to this, perhaps the zoo should be next on the list. It's a risk walking right into a tiger den to catch a tiger. But with what that blabbermouth said, I doubt they can turn a blind eye to this much longer. With no clues gained, I came down to the market square. Every structure around me creaked and cracked, shuffling about and rearranging themselves like building blocks. Seems the restructuring days are getting more frequent. The last restructuring was but 3 days ago. Not a week has passed and people are already free-falling through the air. Now they aren't even the telltale tremors anymore. Forget escape. Everything just snaps into motion in a heartbeat. So the drizzle of people grew into a downpour. I'd heard for sure that the restructuring days were a remnant of old age core, locked in automated cycles, but not long after the new family hierarch ascended to the coveted seat, his behaviour changed, as though someone's hands were behind the wheel. And that fool's idea may not have been a fool's errand after all. The young master of the Jia family who proclaimed he would see the restructuring day gone the moment he ascends to the seat of family hierarch. Back then I'd brushed it off as the naive delusion of a sheltered young master. But in hindsight, it may be so that I did not entirely dislike the idea. Perhaps I saw an aesthetic quality within it. The upper class of Hongwan, the so-called leaders of Dongwonyan, are expected to take lives with impunity and deploy whatever underhanded tactic they could. Conjured to come out on top. But he harbored this innocent, dreamy idea of saving those who'd fall to their meaningless deaths. I still don't understand it, but the way his memory keeps resurfacing, suppose he left his mark on me. Must have been a rather fine work of art and kept by my side, that one. I should have trained him harder, taught him how to defend himself better back when we were traveling to prepare for the first round of the evaluation. I look up at Hong Wan's artificial sky with a hollow chuckle, catching glimpses of black bamboo hats amidst the pelting rain of people. Someone sent the Z branch after me. It seems that leash-holding blue bloods have taken notice of the trail of bodies I've left behind in my search for the thread of clues. The thread that will bring me to the family Hara. No one but that girl is of any interest to me in Hong Wan. It is indeed true that those who can care overmuch for their own lives tend to jump at their own shadows. Nevertheless, this is a decent opportunity. If I can just trace this back to whoever it is that sent the rats. Maybe I can leverage the fact they came for my life to find another thread that should lead me to the family Hara. Z branch. I don't think we have those yet, but could that be Ox? I don't remember. That single thread is all I need. I have no wish to follow that fool's will, nor do I wish to become a blade of rebellion. But Hong Wan's degradation has mutated it into a thing of such hideousness. It harbors not even a single trace of beauty in its filth. Well, going no further than to add another layer of critique to the pile with this long brush should be more to my temperament anyway. And we are at 37 minutes. And I'm not done. There's one thing I want to test. And I'm probably going to want to get her out to the final up-tie, so it's a good thing that I have spares. I didn't actually look at what it improved, but I don't really care that much. Because today is the PS excavation. She's blunt weak. I want to see what she can do in the excavation. So,
잠시 같이 걸을 텐가. 네 목적지는 어디?
지휘를 받는 건 오랜만이네.
부선장의 형님과 누님들,
출장이
형님과 누님들을 위해
작살 놓치지 말게.
Oh hey, this one's unopposed. Cool.
내 뒤. 저놈을 추적해.
Ooh, I like what she's doing so far. She feels awfully slow, but maybe that's because I put her at the very end of the deployment order. Remember, we gain 3 offense levels, so you can win the clash and you're in a tie. But 4 resonance, so he's going to get pride power up. It's still a negative coin though, so it's not the greatest situation we're in. Have I mentioned how much I hate this excavation because I really hate this excavation. I can't wait until Ryoshi's Kanto comes around and they get rid of this stupid excavation.
사정없이 몰아칠 테니
What the actual heck happened here?
저놈을 죽여!
느려졌네 저거. 맞추기 쉽군.
For some reason it had her use her skill 2 at the very end. That's actual. Whoa. It always finds a way to be the absolute worst.
총원 불격! 회풍!
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
I really hate those guys. The thing is that we're probably going to kill at least 2 of his friends, and that's going to drop his SP down so his clashing power gets higher here. I do this one a lot, I know what it's like.
글쎄가 전복대 뚫렸네.
전율을 총! 저놈을 추적해! 답봉창 나의 승리다.
He's getting all the frigging skill coins.
기꺼이
글쎄가 전복대 뚫렸네.
내 뒤로
승리를 위해서라면
느려졌네 저거. 맞추기 쉽군.
사정없이 몰아칠 테니
There's... you can't really keep track of which ones are new and which ones are old, but it looks like there's actually several of the big ones that show up. I really don't think they understood how overpowered they made these things. And the thing is, even if you can beat it each day no problem, it's still frustrating.
이 작살엔 필살의 집념이 담겨있지.
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
느려졌네 저거.
사정없이 몰아칠 테니.
I think you might. I don't really get the priority for what attack actually gets her free skill off.
보자 너.
Yeah, there's potential. I think she will probably make it onto the PS excavation team because I like the free gloom resources. It's just unfortunate that she is a poised rupture unit because that's the one. Those are ones where you wouldn't want to use fluid sac, and that's always the thing I think of whenever I see lots of gloom resource generation.
하시는 건가요?
Maybe she'll make it onto sinking teams, who knows? But yeah, until next time guys, Merry Christmas.
혈기가 되기 전
글쎄,
우리가 매번 팍팍하게 인상만 쓰고 돌아다니니까 다른 팀들이 우리랑 일하기 싫어하잖아. 이번 기회에 다른 무리들이랑 다 같이 얘기도 하고 밥도 먹고 그러면 인상 때문이 아니라 이 뿔 레이저가 자기들한테 튈까봐인 거라고?